There's so much angles I could take this, so much turns, you know. So the whole point of my conversation is that it's all fake, people. It's all fake. The system is a fraud. Yeah, even the blind can see. I have a song said the system is a fraud. The system is a fake, oh Lord. Even the blind can see. So why so many people still asleep? Wake up and live. But man, it's a wake up and live. And I take that to mean that wake up literally from your slumber. You understand? Meaning that you'll start seeing things for what it is. And that's the time you start living. But when you're asleep, you cannot live because you're a slave. You understand? This shit still depressed me to my guts, to my cores. I've never liked school. I've never really liked church. Never liked no institution at all because they all seem to have the same characteristics: control, manipulation, and enslavement. All of them. And you look into it with a mind of reasoning and tell me if when me say a lie. You look and see if all of what me just say is a lie. When I was going to university, not long ago, or even when I was in Jamaica, there's always this source, this control source. Yeah, you cannot write anything freely because you cannot. They will not accept your mind and your thinking. It has to be from one of the credited sources, what them say. You understand? Tell me if that's under control. If you tell me if you write my opinion and whatever, and you tell me say no, me have to go put in references and where did greetings. Basically, in this video I just want to talk about a response to a shot that I made some time ago, I think last week. I was just at work, I was just in the change room. I don't know if I'm going to pin this video in the description below. Basically, I was just saying that the whole system, as we know, is a fraud. It's all interconnected, you know, whether we want to believe it or not. I know people like to single out and think that our religion and the church is separate, you know, from the overall general system that operates and runs and manages the world through the same people who controls everything. And the same guys that talk about one world order, new world order, them same people, they're pretty much the mastermind behind everything, you know. I'll say, as much as a lot of us would want to think that we have the handle and something unique and something that is pure and that is different. Yeah, so basically my mother came across the video. I don't know who sent it to her, but we were back and forth with some conversation about my words and things that I say about the church and not believing in the church. Mind you, let me just stop here to say that I grew up in the church. You know, it's almost the reality of probably 80 to 90% of Jamaicans, being that Jamaica was colonized by, you know, Europe or Europeans. Lastly, and probably more widely by the British people, who of course brought with them Christianity. You know, so that would explain the reason why 80-90% of Jamaicans have a Christian mindset or belief system. Hence the church. So not many of us as Jamaican people have been able to actually see beyond that or to even question it, you know. Let me just say, as a child growing up, it was taboo to even question anything about the church and Christianity, you know, and the Bible, anything like that. It was like plain straight taboo, like against the law, lock you up in a jail, crucify you, no food to eat, you are the devil, the whole shabam, if that's the word. Yeah, so having said that, I myself, as a youth, was always a revolutionary mind, a rebellious mind in a sense. Not outrightly, but because I couldn't do it, as I get my teeth knocked out, so I had to be very subtle about it. So within this mind that is forever thinking and analyzing, there was a lot of questions being asked, and nothing that was being said or pushed or forced down my throat, was being forced down my throat, was just accepted by me, and everything was being questioned, or everything was questioned, you know. So as I grow older, as I get older, this of course started to grow even more, and a quest for the truth started to develop in me. So this quest for the truth was to find what is real, what is the realness of life, what is the purpose of life, apart from what I've been told from the time I was born. Was it the church, was it Christianity, was there something else, so long story short, I migrated here to England, still with my Christian mindset, trying to make sense of it. In Jamaica, there were many times that I was almost left to the end of the length of being forced to, get baptized and be saved and accept Jesus as the Lord and Savior. That never happened, because if I was going to do it, it would be to please the people who wanted me to do it. It wasn't a conviction that I felt for myself. Don't get me wrong now, I'm going to say this, that the whole idea of Jesus, that the term that they use, more likely I'd like to say Yeshua. Put it this way, I just think a lot of lies has been told on this earth, and really and truly you don't know who to trust. Especially when you get your information, or your information is controlled by a set of people who are the same ones to downtrod, downpress, enslave, murdered, raped, and do all manner of evil against a people like yourself, and still continue to do things like this today, even to people who look like themselves. When you really think about that, it's like, okay, if I'm getting my information from here, these people, it's going to leave me questions. I'm going to question this. Unless, of course, you're just a person who is just seeking the turn up. Yeah, so to be honest though, many of us would want to, would do anything just to feel like whatever we are into is the ultimate truth. Even me, I'm still on quest for the truth, because nothing is final for me, to be honest with you, because what I've realized of this world is that information is controlled and is issued out and given to us by the people who decides how much they want to give and what they want to make credible. You understand? And it seems as though the majority of people would want to go with what this source said is credible. And if you're a person like myself who will always challenge the status quo, if it don't make any sense, then you are seen as troublemaker or just a person of nonsense. Like, you're not making any sense. There's very little thing within this system, within this shit system, to be honest with the people, that I don't even like use the word belief. I actually think is true or makes any sense. You understand? So as I said, back and forth I was going with me and my mother now, because that rooted Christian woman, them Jamaican woman, they go to church, and don't get me wrong, I cannot knock anyone's conviction, and that's not what I'm about, but all I'm saying is, at the same time, when you have your conviction, allow other people to have theirs. Understand? I'm not here trying to convert anybody, because when you become a person who's awake, or you've been awoken, whatever you want to call it, you start seeing things for what it is. And it's kind of hard for you to actually go back and start seeing it through a different lens. I don't think I was ever asleep as a youth, as a person. Let me say from day one, I was always questioning everything. In church, I'll be questioning every motive, every move of these people. You know what I'm saying? So, the older I get, is the more it grew on me. It grew on me the older I got. And more questions started to ask. I went into search now for the truth, as I say. At one point I said, let me start taking on Rastafari. Start looking into that for a while, and realize it's the same thing they're doing like what the Christian people doing. And worshipping Jesus, and just the same, pretty much the same thing Rastas were doing with Haile Selassie. You know, the same man that actually said that he's not God, not to be worshipped. So what I find and what I realize, the common pattern and trend is that humans are always seeking to find something or someone outside of themselves to give worship to. You know, there's a notion that at one point humanity was what would I say, was contacted by a group of people. I'm going to say much about it, to be honest, because again, when you start going into things that the people are going to say you're crazy. But a group of advanced beings and a worship gene was installed in our DNA. So it would make sense to explain why humans are inclined to, you know, feel like they have to find something or someone else outside of them to worship. When you think of Jesus or Yeshua, the character, the person, whether or not the story is true, when you think about what is recorded in the Bible about this person and how that person walked and what was the whole life movement and teachings and idea and lesson that this person wanted to teach, when you really look at it through open, clear lens without emotions and superstition, you realize that this figure was actually trying to show humanity, to show mankind that they have within them the power to pretty much manifest and do all the things that he was doing. And he said this in his own words. Don't get me wrong, you can't quote me on it because I'm not a Bible person. The thing I realized growing up in Jamaica again is that people tend to take it more seriously when you can quote. They call it quote the scripture. And you can tell us, so St. John 2 verse 5, 6 said this, blah, blah, blah. They say hallelujah because to them the Bible is this ultimate book. And, you know, if you have this hold on it, then you must be somebody ultimate and divine. You know, so as I say, I've read certain things. I can't tell you exactly where it is in the Bible, but I've read enough to know and realize and look between the line and see that this is what this character was trying to pass on to humanity. Anyway, soon after this man died and left, after everything that he told people, soon as he left, they started worshipping him. You know, pretty much like what the Rasta did with Haile Selassie. I mean, he said all these things that I'm doing, or that you see me do, these things also can you do. Yeah? And even greater things shall you do. This to me, in our essence, is saying that he's trying to tell us, I was trying to convey that, listen, the power is within you. You know, you have the ability, if you dedicate yourself, if you seek and find the real truth, if you do these things that I do, it will lead you to the path. That's why I'm saying I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no man comes to the Father but through me. Yeah? Meaning that through me being my way of life, he mastered the art of everything and became a Christ. So it's a Christ energy. He manifested a Christ energy. I mean, as I say, as human beings, people always want to find something more supernatural about a person or something because it makes them feel like, yeah, it gives them the ammunition now to worship this person, and you know, so they have to put all these things there. All when it's clear that this person is just like Haile Selassie said, don't be thinking about worshiping me, you know. Yeah, you can applaud me, you can give me thanks, you can show appreciation as some of you call it. You know, you can show me respect, but the only way or the best way to respect and honor me is to walk in my footsteps. You understand? You know what the Rasta did with Haile Selassie. I mean, he said all these things that I'm doing, or that you see me do, these things also can you do. Yeah? And even greater things shall you do. This to me, in our essence, is saying that he's trying to tell us, I was trying to convey that, listen, the power is within you. You know, you have the ability, if you dedicate yourself, if you seek and find the real truth, if you do these things that I do, it will lead you to the path. That's why I'm saying I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no man comes to the Father but through me. Yeah? Meaning that through me being my way of life, he mastered the art of everything and became a Christ. So it's a Christ energy. He manifested a Christ energy. I mean, as I say, as human beings, people always want to find something more supernatural about a person or something because it makes them feel like, yeah, it gives them the ammunition now to worship this person, and you know, so they have to put all these things there. All when it's clear that this person, just like Haile Selassie said, don't be thinking about worshiping me, you know. Yeah, you can applaud me, you can give me thanks, you can show appreciation as some of you call it. You know, you can show me respect, but the only way or the best way to respect and honor me is to walk in my footsteps. You understand? You know, there are several stories in the Bible where he was with his disciples, Peter in particular. I mean, in the first place, when he was trying to pick up these people, when he was trying to gather them, the message to them was that, you know, stop worrying so much about this physical thing, man, and the material things, the money, and Matthew being a tax collector, and, you know. But enough pastor won't preach from this perspective. You know, a lot of them won't preach from this perspective. Pretty much what he was trying to say to them, that leave these man-made things that we know latch on to and hold on to and is attached to. He was telling them to detach themselves, you know, separate themselves from these things and come to the things that are God, which is love, peace, unity, and charity. You understand? But all of the people, them and 3/4 of the people here crying out for Jesus and saying, oh, they love him and this and that, they don't even know these things. You know, they don't even know these things because they're still attached to vanity and material things. They will fight and defend that till death. You understand? And it's the same thing the man was against. He spent his own life fighting against that. When the people come to him and ask him about paying tax to Caesar, his statement was that, well, it's Caesar face that is on the money, so give to Caesar what is due to Caesar, what is his money. He put his face on it, so to give him his money. You know, all of these things are vanity, are man-made. This is why I said the church is fake in that video. This is why I say the university is fake. This is why I say the banking system is fake. This is why I say jobs and all these things are fake, because they all lead to the same thing. They're not of God, as a lot of you like to talk about God. You know, you love to talk about God this and that, God that. And really and truly, what me hold on to is that God, which me call the source, is a spirit. And they that worship him in spirit and in truth. Truth. There's no truth in these things. There's no truth in money, there's no truth in the university, there's no truth in schools, there's no truth in none of these things. Yeah, because it's all a trick and a con. Yeah. I call it truth mixed with lies. Some people say you can't mix truth with lies, but look in it and say if it's not true. They're all intertwined. You know. So now you have to find yourself sifting through the information. So then we put the truth in this and twist it. Put the truth in this and twist it. You know, so if you're not a person with critical thinking and discernment, then you will stay there, believing everything these evil create and put until they says it. Jesus was never a religious man. He was never for the system. Never for that church system when you come see. He was never for it. Because it was all a lie and people were just hypocrites. You know. So what wrong have I done when I said it's a fake? You know. So, moving forward, whatever I know today and hold as truth, as my ultimate truth, based on what I feel within me and my connection to the source, the true energy that is there for everybody to use, if you apply yourself properly. Yeah? If you see the real truth or want to connect to the real truth without all of this facade, all of this front, all of this, fake. You don't need all of them something there. The source is you and you are the source. You're already one and connected. You just have to make sure, say, you do the things that's going to make you inseparable from the source. And that's all that is important. Yeah, there are demons and there are energies in this earth. Yeah, which you have dominion over. Because they can only do the things that they want to do if you permit them to do it. You understand? So, all of this getting up and going to church and put on clothes and collect offering and preach from pulpit and read out a Bible, to me is not necessary. Yeah? But at the same time, everyone to their own conviction. If you feel that's what you have to do to feel God, then do it by all means. You understand? But don't feel threatened, don't feel attacked when a person like the celebrate up and say, it's all a fake. Yes, because at the end of the day, not one person have come back from the left this earth and tell us anything. So the idea of a heaven after death and a hell after death is an idea. I haven't seen nobody come back until this day to tell me, say, okay, this is what happened to me. I'm here hoping and praying that my ancestors or some of the past have that come and give me some lottery number or something so I can win some money and come out of this matrix here. Find a way to escape it. You understand? Put things in place where I don't have to get up and go work every day and stress. But nobody now come back and tell me nothing. Yeah? Nobody's coming back and tell me anything. Why am I going to waste and stress myself over and kill myself in fear? Yeah? There's only wicked people who want to do things like that. You have to convince yourself that there's a damnation, so you will try not to do evil things. But if you're good, you're good. Within your heart you're good and they are pure. So you don't need any fear for him make you do right. You understand? Your right is embedded in you already. It's automatic. You understand? And this conversation could continue from here till tomorrow. There's so much I could say. There's so much angles I could take this. So much turns. So the whole point of my conversation is that it's all fake, people. It's all fake. The system is a fraud. Yeah? Even the blind can see. I have a song that said the system is a fraud. The system is a fake, oh Lord. Even the blind can see. So why so many people still asleep? Wake up and live. Bob Marley said wake up and live. And I take that to mean that wake up literally from your slumber. Understand? Meaning that you'll start seeing things for what it is. And that's the time you start living. But when you're asleep, you cannot live because you're a slave. You understand? This shit still depressed me to my guts, to my cores. I've never liked school. I've never really liked church. Never liked no institution at all. Because they all seem to have the same characteristics. control, manipulation, and enslavement. All of them. And you look into it with a mind of reasoning and tell me if when me say a lie. You look and see if all of what me just say is a lie. When I was going to university, not long ago, or even when I was in Jamaica, there's always this source, this control source. Yeah, you cannot write anything freely because they will not accept your mind and your thinking. It has to be from one of the credited sources, what them say. You understand? Tell me if that's not control. If you tell me if you write my opinion and whatever, and you tell me say no, me have to go put in references and where did if you tell me say me have to go put in references and tell you where me get my information from. Basically you telling me say me cannot think on my own. You know? Me have to choose one of your sources them and you say yeah too. You understand? All these things never sit well with me. I was forever questioning, I was forever miserable at university. Likewise in the church. The only time I used to feel any form of truth in the church is when a pastor or one of them people would have come with what them call a testimony. There's not any testimony. There was some that were heartfelt. Testimonies of triumph, humanly triumph. You know, when they used to go through sufferation and they put their shoulder to the wheel and they trust and have faith and do whatever they have to do and turn around to better days. Them things that used to inspire me. I used to feel truth in them something. Other things weren't inspirational to me. You know. Work, I don't know how I feel about work already. Go check my YouTube channel and so much things I talk about work and money. You know how I feel about them something already. I always see work as a control. First and foremost, when I go work, you have to make sure you see a check time, which is an illusion. The clock on your hand is an illusion. You always have to look and watch. And I check time and I watch time. You can't free. Your mind can't free. You're always watching clock. And when you go work now, it's like a plantation because the same system with them using a slavery. The same system use at work. Them have this worker, you watch the next worker. You understand? Everybody carry news and gossip and it made me sick. Sick to the point where I want vomit throat. That's how sick it made me spirit be. You understand? I don't like none of them someday. I don't like none of them someday. That probably me not normal. I don't like none of them someday. I used to go to church as a youth where my people them never. I used to go to church as a youth when my mother never have enough to give me for wear and things were hard. And big people in a church we say them are Christian and we say them holy and them people, same people used to laugh after what me wear. You understand? And them same people used to laugh after the clothes that me wear. You understand? So oh no, me if you go really take this thing as serious and believe say any God in a church. Don't get me wrong, there are some people who are very sincere. In everything, there are people who are very sincere and convicted. Yeah, and whatever your conviction is, and even if you find an object to focus that conviction on, it will still work for you because it's still your conviction. You understand? So don't get me wrong, there's some people in a church where it's real and are true because I've seen some. But I would say this unapologetically. I don't want to offend nobody, but some wicked people they order to in a church, in all institutions, not just one of the church. The church is only but an institution. That's all it is. Check the levels. Them collect offering, then collect this, then collect that. Them have this a deacon, them have this a one there. It's an institution there. Yeah, an institution. You understand? Sister this can sing, then worship her because she can sing. If she finds somebody else who can sing more than her, she start jealous over the person there. You understand? How jealousy coming at this? How jealousy coming in a church setting? Yeah, because we're not human beings and yes, we're not jealous. That the same Jesus talk about these things. He said if you take me from it, I'm still do it. You understand? So really and truly, you need to spend time out of the church and spend time with dealing with self. On the mind. Get me? That's what I need to do. That's why when the man walk, him say the whole of them are hypocrite. He never too like the church people, the high priest and the sit them, because they were all hypocrites. And lots of church people now will talk about them. Oh, in this, he never like them, and none are the same thing. I'm not different. They're not different. You understand? So, I remember this woman came to me and she was asking me about Jesus, how I think about Jesus. She was inviting me to church, and I'm saying to her, I said, well, years me not go to church still. You know, it's been years since I haven't gone to church. And she said, why? I said, I just don't bother with them something anymore, you know. Anyway, she been coming and asking me over and over, and I think she trying to give the impression that I'm possessed. Because she asked me, what do you think about Jesus? I said, nothing. I don't believe, say, this person the name Jesus. I don't think that's the right name anyway. I believe, say, the man himself, or the character did exist and do the things where them say him do. The Bible say him do. You know, because to me that's a perfect example of a human being. You know, it's a perfect example, the perfect way for a human being to walk. You know, I really think and I really accept that lifestyle as the ultimate. You know, I not see nothing else way could be more ultimate than that. You know, so I accept that. But this whole idea of Jesus, blood and the blood of Jesus, I'm not into it. You know, I'm not into it. It sounds a bit funny to me. You know, it sounds a bit funny to me. So, the lifestyle of this person and what they portrayed is enough for me. If you know, so this is the way I really need to live. And put it this way, I said this before I go, because I'm going to end the video, you know. This is exactly how I walk. Probably not as perfect as the man himself. But these things are embedded in me from birth. Anybody will know me can talk. You understand? Negativity, jealousy, bad mind, vanity, all of these things make me sick the older I get. You understand? But you'll have some people out there who will tell me otherwise. Because me no say, me accept Jesus and be baptized and whatever. Me and nobody. Reshape on the mind, reshape on the thinking. The church, school, university, workplace, money, all these systems are fake and are fraud. They're not the things of God.